Hi guys, my name is Nethmi. I'm a student of Guru Niwasa Institute Abhiman Sir's English Medium Science class. Today I'm here to explain you all the second unit of our science syllabus, that is things around us. First, let's talk about the objects with a mass and occupying space. For examples, let's take a pen. Pen has a mass and pen occupying space. We can say that pen has a mass because we can touch the pen, and we can say that pen has a pen occupying space because when we keep the pen on our palm, the pen takes the space in our palm. And as a second example, if we take water, water also has a mass and water also occupies space. What about sunlight? Sunlight does not have a mass and does not occupy space because sunlight is an energy. Now let's do an experiment to find out whether air has a mass. For this experiment, you will need a pin, some pieces of thread, a meter ruler and two equal balloons filled with air. The method to do this experiment is, first you need to set up the two equal balloons at the two corners of the meter ruler and wait until it lies horizontally. Then we need to make a hole in one balloon by using the pin and let the air out. Observation by this experiment is the meter ruler loses its balance. The conclusion of this experiment is, this happened because the air in one balloon goes let out, so we can conclude that air has a mass. Now let's do another experiment to check whether air occupies in space. For this experiment, you will need a water basin, a glass and a dry handkerchief. First, we need to place the handkerchief tightly at the bottom of the glass and turn it upside down and place the glass vertically at the bottom of the basin. Then we need to take the glass out vertically from the water basin and check whether the handkerchief is wet. Observation: the handkerchief is not wet. Conclusion: water did not enter the glass because there was air in the glass. So we can conclude that air occupies in space. Now let's talk about matter and energy. What is matter? The things with a mass and occupying space are known as matter. Examples: pencil case, pillow, bed, door, chairs, tables. And now let's talk about energy. The things without a mass and does not occupy space are known as energy. Solar energy, heat energy, sound energy, thermal energy. Those are the examples for energy. Now let's talk about mass. What is mass? The matter in an object is referred to as the mass of the object. Kilogram is the international unit of measuring mass. Grams and milligrams are the other units that we use to measure mass. Let's talk about states of matter. The states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Let's talk about characteristics of solid. Solids has a definite shape and a definite volume. Bricks, chairs, tables are some examples for solid. Now, characteristics of liquids. Liquids has no definite shape, but liquids has a definite volume. And also, liquids take the shape of the container. Examples: petrol, diesel, water, milk, orange juice and mango juice. And now let's talk about characteristics of gases. Gases does not have a definite shape or a definite volume. Examples: steam and gas. Now let's do an experiment to identify the characteristics of liquid. For this experiment, you will need some transparent containers, colored water and a measuring cylinder. First, you will need to measure 25 milliliters of water by the help of the measuring cylinder. Then we need to observe the shape of the water inside the measuring cylinder. Then we will need to measure 25 milliliters of water and put them into each of the transparent containers. The observation is water takes the shape of the container. The conclusion is, in this activity we put the same amount of water into the same container and water took the shape of the container. So we can conclude that water has a definite volume but no definite shape. Now let's learn how to use a measuring cylinder correctly. Measuring cylinder is an equipment used to measure liquids in the science laboratory. The correct way of using the measuring cylinder is, when we put the water into the measuring cylinder, we can see a curved line. We need to get the lowest reading of the curved line and we get the correct reading of the measuring cylinder. Now let's do an experiment to find out whether air occupies in space. For this experiment, you will need an empty bottle and a water basin. The method to do this experiment is, put the empty bottle into the water basin vertically and tilt the bottle. The observation is, water did not enter the bottle when it was in the vertical position, and when the bottle was in the tilt position, bubbles came out and water entered the bottle. The conclusion is, water did not enter the bottle because there was something in the bottle. And in the next position, water entered the bottle because the air blocked in the bottle came out. So we can conclude that air occupies in space. Now let's do another experiment to find out whether there is a definite volume for air. For this experiment, you will need a joystick, 2 gas jars and a piece of cardboard. The method to do this experiment is, first send the smoke of the joystick to the gas jar turned upside down, and we need to place the piece of cardboard under the mouth of that gas jar. Then we need to place another gas jar under the piece of cardboard, and then we need to remove the piece of cardboard slowly. Observation is, the gas in the first gas jar goes into the second gas jar. The conclusion is, gases does not have a definite volume and they spread throughout the container. Now let's compare solid, liquid and gas. Solid has a definite shape and a definite volume. Liquids have a definite volume but no definite shape. Gases have no definite shape and no definite volume. Now let's talk about the specific properties of matter. Our first topic is hardness. What is hardness? The property of resistance to cut, scratch or abrasion is known as hardness. Examples are diamond and iron. Our next topic is malleability. What is malleability? The ability of metal to be drawn into thin sheet without breaking by rolling or hammering is known as malleability. Examples: metals like iron, copper and aluminium. Our third topic is ductility. What is ductility? The ability of metal to be drawn into thin wires without breaking is known as ductility. Examples: aluminium, copper and gold. Our next topic is elastic nature. The ability of a material to increase its length by a small force of stretch is known as elastic nature. Examples: rubber and elastic. Our next topic is brittleness. Tendency of material to break under small force is known as brittleness. Examples: glass, coal and chalk. Our final topic for this lesson is texture. What is texture? The feel of surface, rough or smooth, is known as the texture. Examples: baby talc and cotton are the examples for smooth things, and sandpaper is an example for rough things.